Hey everyone, I have some copper tubing and I have some cells, and in this video we're going to, no, not beat these like a piñata, we're going to make some bus bars. Let's get started. Alright, so the joke was pretty bad and I should delete it, but I'm just not going to. So in this video I want to give specific dimensions and general how-to for building bus bars for a parallel connection here if these were two positives, and that would also work for a series connection if this were a positive and a negative, like I showed in my original video. And I also want to give some dimensions for this. The general concept is the same for the bus bars themselves. You're going to have two holes in a flattened copper tube. For this project, we are going to need some basic hand tools. A pipe cutter so that we can cut our copper tubing to length. A 1/4 inch drill bit should work. I haven't done it yet to know for sure, but we should be able to make this work because they're M6 studs, so A center punch so that we can mark the location of where our holes need to be, so we can go through, measure it, and then you can take a hammer and punch this and it'll leave an indentation on the copper, so that way your drill bit doesn't want to wander. It's really annoying. Tape measure, a drill, and a hammer. Doesn't need to be a 3-pound hammer, but doesn't hurt either. So now we're looking down at the cells. You can see that they have a negative and positive marking on the terminal connections, and some of them are red, some of them aren't. If we take our tape measure and measure straight down, you can see that the terminal connections are just over an inch apart. So you can see by the tape measure that we can make our bus bars about 1 3/4 of an inch long, which is right here, this longer line, right where my finger is. We can take our copper tubing, measure it a 1 3/4. About, oh, that's 1.5. Metric does win sometimes, doesn't it? Alright, so 1 3/4. That'll work. So now we can take our pipe cutter, and if you've never used one of these before, you want to feed the pipe in so that it sits on these two rollers, and then this wheel here is a blade. It's kind of sharp, and then you thread this in and you apply pressure onto the pipe as you rotate it. So let's go ahead and do that now. So we're going to take our mark right there. We're gonna line it up with this blade. Make sure it's on both rollers. And you want to tighten this down. Now, you only want to tighten this down a little bit. You don't want to crank it down really hard. You just want to snug it, and then you want to rotate this, and it's going to start cutting. And then you'll feel it start to spin easily, and then you can add a little bit more tension, rotate it again, until you feel that rolling resistance go away. And you can turn it a little more. Keep doing this. This is going to make your tool last a lot longer, because what a lot of people do is they just crank it down and it really dulls the blade really fast. This is a little bit more time consuming, but it's going to be a lot gentler on your tool. I feel like an episode of SpongeBob. It's like 40 seconds later. Check that out. It's digging in. You can see it's cutting. Should be about all the way through. Oh, that was perfect. So now we have one piece that's 1 3/4 of an inch long, and now we can take a hammer and smash it flat. Alright, now for the fun part. Alright, so now we have a nice flat bus bar, and we are ready to measure and drill some holes. So our tape measure is giving us just about 1 1/8 inch center to center on this. So let's go ahead and lay that out on our bus bar now. And just for reference, if you were going to be laying these out in a side to side fashion like this, the separation here, let's make sure I don't short this thing out, is about 1 1/4 inch. So I would say cut your bus bar to about 2 inches and then lay out your holes 1 1/4 inch center to center. What I decided to do was push this in about 1/4 inch for my first hole here on the left. So I'll go ahead and mark out my first point, and then I'm going to go about an inch and 1/8 from this side. So that's going to be about right there. So now we can center punch these and drill our holes. So you can see I put some small indentations in here, a little bit off. I tried to center these up a little bit, They should be fine for the holes because I expect that 1/4 inch drill bit to be a bit loose on those M6 studs. So now we can drill these out. Alright, so I tried to record drilling the holes, but that didn't work. And so you've all seen a hole being drilled before, so drill your holes. Make sure they're straight because mine clearly were not. But let's see if it fits. Ah, like a glove. A very crooked glove. So you can kind of see the big picture coming together here. This is a parallel connection between two positive terminals. But if this were a positive and a negative, this could be a series connection. And then let's say you had 3 or 4 parallel connections that you wanted to make with a bunch of positives. Let's say there was 4 of them. You could make this, instead of just being 1 3/4, you could extend this down to cover 4 cells and then just put 4 holes in one piece of copper. But make sure they're straight, not crooked like this, because it's going to be really annoying and probably wouldn't work. I brought a 4th cell over here just to kind of show you how things would go, and I flipped these around to make this a series connection. So this would be the main positive of our 12-volt battery. We'd have a bus bar here, and then another bus bar here connecting these 2 terminals, and then a 3rd bus bar right here connecting these 2 terminals, and this would be our main positive. So you want to be very careful when you start setting all of this up, because if you make a mistake, the batteries will let you know in a hurry, about the speed of light actually. So yeah, be very careful. There's a ton of potential here. I know they seem small and cute, but it could be devastating. You should always wear safety glasses anytime you're working around open terminals like this. Alright everyone, I hope this video was helpful for making your own bus bars. It's very easy to do, and obviously it's pretty forgiving considering how bad I screwed this one up, and it still works. Completely usable. You might want to go through with a wire brush and clean this off to get any kind of oxides or any kind of coatings off of this surface so you get good electrical contact. But other than that, it doesn't take very long to do once you get rolling, and yeah, it's a fun little project that you can do. You can look at your battery when you're done with it and know that you put those bus bars together, you smashed them flat, which was the most fun, and you drilled the holes, mounted it all up, and did it all yourself. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and stick around because I have an announcement that I would like to make, and I'm going to throw a blooper reel on the end of this and see what kind of responses it gets. If you guys enjoy it, I'll let you watch my screw-ups in every video, because if you can get a laugh at my expense, that's fine with me. I just want to take 10 seconds and say thank you. This is incredible. I can't even believe this is happening right now. I don't even know what else to say. Seriously, I actually thought about not even making that video because I figured no one was going to care about it, but I am blown away. I can't even think of words. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you, viewers, and thank you for all of the new subscribers. So, for parallel, okay, let's just,